We're coming to you live from Nairobi here at the Strathmore University, where we are at the Absa 2025 Sustainability and Climate Report launch, where the bank has been highlighting some of its key achievements in sustainability. And to help digest this further, I'm happy to be joined by the Head of Sustainability and Corporate Affairs at the bank, Mr. Charles Wakabi. Mr. Charles, welcome on set.
No, thank you, and thank you for being here with us.
And you've taken us through your cycle of 2021-2025, which is your last target period. Kindly, there's a lot to pick out from that report, but if you could share with us some of the highlights that you've been able to achieve as a bank.
No, look, first of all, thanks very much, for coming to be part of the conversation. It's a conversation that's a really important conversation, not just for Absa, but for our country and for the world at large. Why it is important is because, the going is old that says, that this world that we are living in today, we've borrowed it from the future generations, and therefore calls on all of us as individuals, as corporates, as organizations, governments, to on a day-to-day basis ask this question: are we running our affairs? Are we doing our things in the right way? In a way that, yes, suffices the needs that we have today, but doesn't compromise, what our future generations, what our children and their children, will experience when they're in this world. And so, for us at Absa, we started on a journey about 6 years ago when we, set and put together our first sustainability strategy, 5-year strategy. We launched it, ultimately we launched it in 2021, and have been executing against it for the last 5 years. So today is kind of two tales. It's giving a report on what we've achieved on those past few years, but also sharing some mind and some thoughts as to what will be our priorities in the coming 5 years. So when I reflect upon those 5 years, a couple of things come to mind. And being a financial institution, obviously, the most important of them is the amount of money that we are able to channel towards sustainable business practices and sustainable initiatives. Within this period, we're talking about a figure of about 204 billion shillings that's been lent, or channeled in one way or the other towards initiatives that either drive financial inclusion, thereby including a lot more people into the financial ecosystem. Previously underserved or totally unserved communities. If you think about some critical segments of our society, such as the SME sector, which everybody knows, is the most productive segment of our economy, highest job creator, and contributing significantly to our GDP. Yet one of the segments that is really, and grossly underserved from an access to finance perspective. And so we've done a lot of work there towards deepening access to finance for enterprises and entrepreneurs within that space. But then there is also green and climate finance, which goes to the question of how much we are funding enterprises, organizations, individuals that are practicing, business in a way that is responding to the challenges that we face from climate change. And that amount of 204 billion is over a number of years. The report that we are releasing today covers 2025. The figure there is 54 billion, and this money is staggered, across, as I said, SME funding, women business owners funding, climate smart agriculture, green buildings, and all that piece of work. I think one of the other highlights is within this period that we are covering, we got to launch the Absa Kenya Foundation, which is a fantastic vehicle that's helping us to scale the kind of impact that we've been able to make either in society or in the environment. And how that's possible, is due to the partnerships that we are able to leverage with other development partners, coming together, with like-minded institutions and organizations, and doing work that has true meaning, and whose change and whose impact we can truly track in the lives of the people that we interact with. And then I think finally, if you reflect, on the environmental side, one of the commitments we had done was to grow 10 million trees by 2032, tracking very well, just about 1.8 million trees. And what's special about this is the way we do it, right? So we do it in conjunction with communities, we do it in conjunction with corporates, if you think about corporates such as Safaricom, Sasini, these are people that we've joined hands, all the way from the board, CEOs level, and we spend some time out, invest some money, talk to communities about the importance of growing forests, taking care of them. And so for us, it's not just about planting, it's also about growing. The other one around environment is our recycling efforts. Today we are reporting about 98% of our waste in our high producing sites is all recycled, whether you're looking at electronic waste, all the other types of waste. So it's been a remarkable journey, and truly big thanks to our board of directors, which oversees this agenda, and has set quite strict targets that determine what we get to do on a day-to-day basis, but also from a management, all the way from our interim CEO Yusuf to the entire EXCO, for really overseeing and following through to ensure that we are, that we're implementing this agenda properly. Yeah.
So quickly, why is reporting on sustainability important? Noting again that maybe the main focus for shareholders and investors is the shareholder payout and maybe profitability.
It's really about integrity. Yeah. So it's saying that you will do something, and then doing that something, and then coming out, once in a while to engage with your stakeholders and saying, we said we would do A and we've done A, or we said we'd do A, we haven't managed to do A, but we've managed to do B. So it's an important aspect that's also tracked by investors, by regulators, and one that we intend to continue doing.
Thank you. That has been Mr. Charles Wakabi, the Head of Sustainability and Corporate Affairs at Absa Bank Kenya. And keep up for the rest of the day with our programming for more subsequent reporting from this event. My name is Kefa Muirori, and it's back to the triple threat at Fixing the Nation, Felaris, Mariam, and Latif.
Thank you.
Triple threat.
Thanks,
I don't know
Kefa.
why I just thought of Shika Paka Power.
Paka power.
Yeah. I don't know why that came to
And the
mind.
triple threat of fighting on healthcare.
You. But thank you so much, Kefa, who was with Charles Wakabi, Head of Sustainability and Corporate Affairs at Absa, as they launched their sustainability report.